After a long day, the last thing that you want to do is spend a ton of time in the kitchen. But that doesn't mean that you have to settle for something boring. Some of the most creative meals I've ever made started with the most basic ingredients, and potatoes are probably the best example of that. They're affordable, they last a long time, and most of us already have them sitting somewhere in the kitchen. The same bag of potatoes that's been sitting in your pantry all week can become something creamy and dippable, something hearty and filling, or something golden and layered that looks like it took way more effort than it did. And none of these require complicated recipes or a ton of time in the kitchen. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 very different ways you can use one simple ingredient and show you how much creativity is possible when you start looking at everyday ingredients a little bit differently. If you're looking for a quick snack, this vegan nacho cheese sauce is one of those recipes that is so easy to make. It starts with steamed potatoes blended together with steamed carrots, miso paste, nutritional yeast, and a few spices until it's completely smooth. The potatoes are what give it that thick, rich texture, and the result is something that makes an incredible homemade alternative to store-bought. Serve it with chips, pour it over nachos, or use it in any recipe you'd like. Another great use for steamed potatoes is this potato flatbread recipe. And this is a great example of how a small shift in approach can completely change what an ingredient becomes. Instead of blending your steamed potatoes, mash them and mix them with flour until you get a soft dough. Let it set for a few minutes, roll it out, add filling if you'd like, and cook it in a pan until golden brown. In this recipe, I'm using my homemade vegan mozzarella cheese as some filling, but you can use whatever you'd like. This is one of those recipes that is so simple to make and so easy to get creative with. And if you're looking for something that's crispy and golden, this potato galette is definitely worth trying. Carefully slice your potatoes using a mandolin or a knife, and you want to slice them very thinly. Toss them with some melted vegan butter, vegan parmesan, and some spices. Lay them out so that the slices overlap, and bake until the edges are golden and crispy. So if you've ever looked at a bag of potatoes and thought that there wasn't much you could do with them, I hope this changed that a little bit. One ingredient, 3 completely different outcomes, and none of them requires a ton of time or a million different ingredients. And you'll be surprised at how creative you can be with your cooking when you start looking at ingredients this way. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to get notified whenever I put out a new video like this. And if you want even more simple recipes that make weeknight cooking even easier, you can grab my free e-cookbook, 30 Easy Vegan Weeknight Meals. It's filled with quick, practical recipes you can come back to again and again. You can find a link in the description and in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.